my workshop. My name's Darren and this is 3D Prints in the Workshop number 22. So I've got a few different items to look at today, so let's get into it. First up, we've got a scroll saw square by Dan2198, who's a viewer of this channel and popped in and mentioned this to me, so I'm quite happy to have a look at this. We'll look at that in just a second. We've got a wire stripper by Rogerio Rodriguez, a small parts funnel tray by Countspatula, an Allen key Torx and screwdriver tray for drill/screwdriver bits by me. We've got some Bessie KRRPPs. That'll be clearer in a minute. So I've dragged my old scroll saw out of the cupboard for this one. And as you can see on here, I've got the table tilted downward at this end. And that's something you do quite often actually on scroll saw work, especially if you're doing marquetry, I think, because you want your pieces on an angle so they slot in, everything fits tight, and you can send everything flush at the end. But there are times, of course, when you want the thing to be back to square again. And so Dan2198, who's a viewer here frequently, shouted out and said he'd made a little square for squaring these fellas up. And as you can see, it's a great little thing. It's got a little hole in there. You can stick your finger through it. You could probably clamp it in place with that hole too if you needed to. But it's a scroll saw square, and this is a scroll saw. So let's give it a whirl. We'll just pop, make sure it's loose. This is a bit stiff, my old scroll saw. I haven't used it for a while. But we'll just... There we go. Square up the blade and lock it in place. And so that's the scroll saw square by Dan2198. Handy little thing, easy to keep in your pocket or wherever. Very good. All right, moving on. I was after another wire stripper for work, so I had a look on Thingiverse and I found this one by Rogerio Rodriguez. And we're going to give that a try and see how that goes. Going to strip this little piece of cable behind me here. Let's go. There we go. Hopefully that now has given us, yes, there we go. Nice neat ring there. I didn't go deep enough though. Okay. Let's try again. There we go. Yep, and there we are. Just be careful when you're using something like that, that you do a bit of a practice first and get used to how far in you have to go. You don't want to go right through and nip your inner conductors. Also for my toolbox at work, I've whipped up this tray for my metric Allen keys, imperial Allen keys and Torx key bits that fit in my powered screwdriver. I took the Ryobi screwdriver to work and use it there now, and so I needed something to keep my bits organised, and this is it. I've left a couple of spare spaces so I can add more later if needed. Not many though, so I think I've pretty much got everything covered here. But if you have Torx bits like this or Allen key bits like this in metric or imperial, I got these ones from Amazon. You might find this tray useful too. So yeah, I'll make that available on Thingiverse. This is Countspatula's small parts funnel tray, and what that's for is getting things like screws back into little boxes. So this one has specifically been made for smaller screws, or small parts anyway, it doesn't have to be screws. And there are different size ones available, and let's face it, you could make your own, but Countspatula's already made this one for us. And so you could be sorting out your screws and popping them in here and then tipping them in where they need to go, or you could have just bought a new packet of screws and perhaps it's just easier to pop them in here and tip them in where they need to go, especially with smaller containers like this. So handy little thing to have around. When you buy one of these Bessie K-body clamps, you get a couple of these little plastic attachments with them that you can slot over the bar, and they stop your work from resting directly against the bar. Good for a couple of reasons, mostly because glue will get on here and it'll stain your work piece, and leave marks on the bar itself. That's a bit of silicone on this one, just there. See if we can get that off. There we go. So yeah, these raise your workpiece off the bar ever so slightly. Also, you know, it's a lot softer than the bar, can help prevent marring. But what if two aren't enough? Or what if you've lost one? Well, Landwehr 3D has made some little copies that we can print out on our 3D printers. Holy dooly, they're a tight fit. Wow. They are a tighter fit than the originals. They fit, but wow, they clip on and stay on. Wow. Well, well done. That's a well-designed bit of gear. So if you've lost these, or you just want some extra ones, there you go. You can print out some of your own. I thought this one was really clever. This is one by Palm, and it basically converts your Sodastream bottles over to little blowers, so you can blow dust or what have you with them and use up the last of the carbon dioxide in your bottle before you go and get it refilled, which is great. Now, the original version doesn't fit the Australian bottles, so Christian Triska has made another version of this piece. So if you're in Australia, you need to download two separate ones. I guess in the US you just get the first one by Palm. But there you go. I've actually depleted the bottle of the last of the carbon dioxide, playing with it, going, oh wow, it works. So I can't actually show you now, which is a shame. But I did want to test it before I brought it and make sure it worked. I didn't want to come on and say, hey, look at this, and it not work. It does work. I've just run out of gas. So there you go. Handy thing. I mean, you could blow dust out of stuff with a bit of carbon dioxide and use up the last of the stuff, which is no good for making your drinks anymore because there's just not enough of it there. Okay, hopefully that's been of some help. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye for now.